We launched the immersive series of compact prismatic rifle scopes earlier this year, and we're really excited to get these on the shelves. These are super unique in many ways, and we're going to do full product overviews in a separate video, so check the video description down below if you want to find that. But in this one, we're going to run through what you get in the box when you purchase one of these scopes. Yes, these tiny little cute little boxes in front of us over here. We have 3 models in the series: a fixed 5x30 with a standard 85mm eye relief. In other words, you can use this on any rifle, and a couple short eye relief models, a 10x40 and a 14x50. The short eye relief models are specifically designed for use with zero recoiling rifles like air guns and rimfires for obvious reasons. The reason we've designed them this way is that the shorter eye relief allows us to get way more field of view. And we'll talk about how awesome this is in the overview videos. The reason I'm mentioning this now is that the 5x30 and the short eye relief models, the package contents differ slightly. So what we'll do is we'll start with the 5x30, we'll show you what you get in the box, and then we'll move on to the other 2. So going ahead and opening the box, the very first thing you'll see is the instruction manual. The manual is worth reading through thoroughly because these scopes have custom-made uni mounts included with built-in tilt adjustment, so the mounting procedure and torque specs are different to most traditional scopes. In here you'll also find everything else from zeroing procedures, warranty information, and full specifications. You'll also find information about our new LPR 1D reticles. These are designed by Ilya Koshkin, and they're extremely useful and intuitive. LPR stands for low power reticle, and there are 2 variants, an MRAD reticle and a BDC reticle, which has hold points for 5.56/223 out to extended ranges. All immersive series scopes are illuminated. The scope uses a CR2032 battery, which may or may not be included in the box. The reason why we can't always include them is just because of shipping restrictions. Many shipping companies don't allow lithium batteries to be shipped in the box. But the important thing to remember here is that when you do fit it in the scope, you'll obviously remove this cap and fit the battery in. You're going to want to put it in with the rounded side facing outwards, so the flat side first. This is different to some of the other scopes we do, basically because the illumination unit is different on the scope. It's just the way it works. But very important to remember that if you put it in the wrong way, it won't work, or it might actually damage the unit. Moving on, once again, you'll find an Element Optics sticker, you'll find a lens cloth, and you'll find a few Allen keys. The smallest Allen key is to reset your turrets. The medium-sized Allen key is for the ring screws, and the largest one is to adjust the base that comes with the scope. All of those instructions are in the manual, so just read it through and you'll be all right. Talking about the mounts, all the immersive series scopes have a number of Picatinny base lengths included. The 5x30 has 2 of them. This one that you'll find in the top piece of foam here, which has 2 cross bolts and is a shorter length, and a longer one which you'll find mounted on the scope itself. These can be switched out by simply loosening these 2 screws at the bottom, and the idea of including 2 different lengths is simply that if your eye relief is different, or you've got a longer length of pull on your rifle, or your base doesn't come back as far, this gives you a little bit of wiggle room and allows you to kind of set it the way you want it. By the way, on the 5x30, the body tube is 34mm, so if you want to use your own 34mm ring, you can, but I would strongly suggest using this one because it's got a much bigger footprint at the bottom and it's going to support the weight of the scope much better. As you can see, the scope itself is awesome. It's tiny, but it's an absolute beast. You have to look through it to understand it, but the experience you get when looking through all of these scopes is amazing. The mount is fitted from the factory, but obviously if you need to adjust the cant on the mount, or if you want to change the base, you can do that before fitting it on your rifle. MOA models, like this one over here, which is the one with the BDC reticle / MOA reticle, will have the base marked in MOA. This is a tilt adjustable base, so you'll see everything from 0 to 80 MOA, gives you a lot of tilt. You probably won't need this especially for this model where you're going to be using the reticle most of the time and you're not going to be extending your ranges too far, but it's there if you want it. You'll also find a small Picatinny/Weaver accessory rail fitted to the mount. The idea here is that you can actually switch it to different positions. So as you'll see, there are various mounting points all over the actual ring, so you can shift it around. On this scope over here, I mounted it directly above, so I can just peer over the turret and I can switch from 5 times magnification down to 1 times and have a red dot right there. It's very cool. Flip caps are also included. The 5x30 has 2 of them, one in the front, one in the back. They have ball detents, which means that they actually sit in position so you can decide where you want to have them. And they also have magnets on them to help them stay closed when you want them closed. The front is actually threaded, so it threads into the body tube, which means that you can set it in any position you want and lock it in place. So for example, if you've got a red dot on top and you don't want the flip cap to flip up like this, you can set it so it flips sideways and lock it in place. So very versatile. The 10x40 and 14x50 are almost exactly the same, bar a few minor differences. I've opened up the 14x50 box and put the contents down so you can actually get an idea of everything that's in the box without boring you. But essentially, the major difference in terms of package contents is that with these 2 models, the short RLEAF models, you're going to get an extra base with 4 nuts that's a little bit longer. The idea here being that if you need to bring it really close to your eye and your gun doesn't allow that, you can actually cantilever it a little bit back without losing that extra strength and extra rigidity. The other difference is that these 2 only have 1 flip cap in the front. The rear features a rubber eye cup which you can rest your eye against for a more comfortable feel, and a small rubber lens cap. And there you have it, the Immersive series rifle scopes, 5x30, 10x40 and 14x50. I will link the product overview videos down below in the video description if you want to check them out, or you can visit our website at element-optics.com. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.